During a delightful drive around the city on a sunny afternoon, James and his girlfriend Ivy were savoring their shared moments in the agreeable climate. While pausing at a petrol station for fuel, a sorrowful scene caught their attention. A young girl, despair evident in her eyes, was pleading for money. Touched by her plight, James approached her gently, inquiring about her circumstances. Tears streaming down her face, the girl, who introduced herself as Emily, shared her distressing ordeal of living with an alcoholic mother who neglected her, making her struggle for basic necessities. Observing from a distance, Ivy joined them and expressed her concern to James, suggesting they extend their help to Emily. James, already empathetic towards Emily's situation, agreed and decided to offer Emily a meal to alleviate her immediate hardship. Emily's reaction, a blend of thankfulness and astonishment, deeply moved James. Driven by compassion, James not only provided Emily with a nourishing meal from the gas station, but also generously offered her some money, worrying about her well-being. Emily confessed her intention to cautiously save the money away from her mother's reach to prevent it from being spent on alcohol. The weight of Emily's predicament deeply troubled James, compelling him to give her something of immense sentimental value. A ring passed down from his grandfather, Mr. Xavier. Despite Ivy's concern about parting with such a sentimental item, James felt compelled by a deep sense of compassion to gift the ring to Emily as a beacon of hope. Afterward, James and Ivy attempted to visit Emily again with more provisions and toys, only to find her gone. This prompted James to reflect on the profound significance of the ring, a cherished heirloom from his grandmother, and the resilient spirit of his family, including his grandfather, Mr. Xavier Gray, who had bravely battled and overcome cancer against all odds. The experience not only underscored the enduring love within James's family, but also illustrated the power of kindness and the enduring impact of reaching out to those in need. On a serene afternoon, as James and Xavier were enjoying a calm moment on the porch with their tea, gazing out at the scenery, James felt moved to address a concern that had been on his mind for a while. He broached a delicate subject. "Grandpa, it puzzles me. How do you cope, knowing your other kids seem distant?" Xavier's gaze drifted towards the horizon as he replied, pausing with a sigh. "My boy, it's truly disheartening, but such is life. I've got 3 children who, sadly, have taken paths that led them away from me. Josephine, my eldest, resides in a different state. She's married to a trucker and is perpetually stressed about finances and laments her struggles." As James hung on every word, Xavier delved deeper. "Then there's Ezekiel, my son stuck in the throes of gambling. He seldom visits, only when he's in dire need of funds, and it shatters my heart. And Jasper, my youngest, fancies himself a nomad. However, he's more so, a drifter, chasing fleeting moments, neglectful of his future or the loved ones he's left behind." James showed a hint of confusion, unable to grasp how his uncles could diverge so markedly from himself. "How can they be so indifferent, Grandpa, to drift apart from someone as wonderful as you?" With a warm smile and a comforting hand on James's shoulder, Xavier expressed, "My dear grandson, everyone charts their own course, following paths that may lead them away from those they once held dear. Your mother, too, had her own journey, youngest of them all, even younger than Jasper, yet her life was abruptly claimed by an accident. But in you, she left behind an invaluable treasure. It's your presence through my darkest days that holds immeasurable worth to me. Your resilience and the man you've grown to be fills me with immense pride. Overcome with emotion, James embraced his grandfather tightly. I'll be right here for you, Grandpa. Senpa, always. In the soft glow of the afternoon, they experienced another profound moment of connection, deepening the affectionate ties that bonded them. Since that touching afternoon, Xavier had entrusted his ring to James, for him to safeguard until an occasion of significance arose. A dozen years swiftly passed, and sadly, Xavier was no longer with them. His funeral drew a large crowd of mourners, paying their respects to a dear friend, though, regrettably, his three sons were absent. James's life had taken a different turn. His relationship with Ivy had ended as she moved on, married, and formed a new family. James offered his final respects alone, joined by Olivia, who had been like family to Xavier and his wife. They had supported her throughout her troubled youth, often providing a sanctuary from her troubled home life with alcoholic parents. Olivia, once James's neighbor, held a profound sense of gratitude and love towards Xavier. She had been instrumental in managing the funeral arrangements and had remained steadfastly by James's side. Meanwhile, a mysterious woman's presence intrigued them, her constant tears marking her sorrow as she bid farewell to the cherished man. Sharing puzzled glances and whispers, James inquired if Olivia recognized the tearful stranger. Not at all, she confessed. Perplexed by the unfamiliar face amidst the grieving assembly, the pair speculated about the woman's identity and the depths of her grief. Yet those surrounding them were equally in the dark. Post-funeral. As James sifted through his grandfather's belongings, he was startled by an unanticipated visit from his uncles, Josephine, Ezekiel, and Jasper, who entered with gravity etched on their faces. "We need to talk," Josephine declared with authority, her tone implying an urgent matter. "This house rightfully belongs to us, Valentine's children. You must vacate." The words struck James, who rebuffed them with disbelief and fury. He argued his unwavering care for his grandfather throughout his life, contrasting it with their absence during his decline and now their sudden claim on his inheritance. But Ezekiel was brisk and unyielding, stating the law was on their side, and James was to vacate within 3 days. Jasper, silent up to this point, simply gave a confirming nod, aligning himself with his siblings' demand. In a whirlwind of desperation, James sought out assistance, confronting the sluggish pace of the legal system. He dialed up a trusted family friend and lawyer, Mr. Holland, explaining his dire predicament with his uncle's aggressive claim on the house left by his grandfather. Mr. Holland, empathetic yet realistic, promised to look for any will or relevant document, but cautioned against hope for an immediate resolution within the tight 3-day deadline. Disheartened, James hung up, bracing himself for a daunting challenge ahead to safeguard his grandfather's legacy. As the looming deadline arrived, hard knocks echoed at the door, bringing James face to face with a deployment that seemed ready to sever his ties to his home. Emily, an official, and 2 police officers stood ready to enact the eviction. The stress was palpable, but a glint of familiarity cut through the tension. James's gaze locked onto a ring, a beacon of past kindness, adorning Emily's finger. Recognition flashed across their faces as James connected the dots to the past. "Are you the young girl from the gas station?" Emily's affirmative response, coupled with her smile, drew a poignant scene. From the ashes of her despair years ago, she had risen, supported by the family, at the gas station restaurant, her life dramatically transformed through education and compassion. The joy of Emily's success story was muted by the sorrow of the moment for James, standing on the precipice of losing his home. Yet Emily, touched by the gravity of James's situation and their reconnected paths, sprung into action. Her phone became a lifeline as she sought avenues to assist James, her determination a glimmer of hope in the dim hallway. Following her calls, Emily faced James with a heavy heart, her resolve clear. She urged him to vacate temporarily, pledging her support and vowing to protect him from his uncle's machinations. James, burdened yet buoyed by a thread of hope, acquiesced. The solidarity from a figure of his past now resurfaced as an unexpected guardian, lighting a path through his ordeal. In an echo of the earlier notification, the firm knocks signaled Emily's presence once more, her role as the official harbinger of the eviction now intertwining with her personal commitment to James's cause, setting the stage for a poignant battle over a family's legacy intertwined with unforeseen reunions. As James braced himself upon opening the door, a wave of anxiety mixed with a dash of recognition washed over him. His attention was riveted to a familiar ring on Emily's finger, propelling him into a whirlwind of emotion as he connected her to a long-ago act of kindness. "Is it you? The girl from the gas station?" he queried, a mixture of hope and apprehension coloring his voice. Confirming with a smile that indeed she was the girl whose life had been transformed thanks to James's generosity, Emily shared the trajectory of her life since that pivotal encounter. Adopted by the compassionate family who ran the gas station's restaurant, her life had taken a positive turn, culminating in her career in law. James was swept up in a complex flood of emotions. Joy for Emily's well-being intermingled with sorrow for the challenging circumstance they now faced together. Driven by a blend of urgency and empathy, Emily sprang into action, her determination palpable as she sought to divest James of his dire situation. Despite the somber outcome of leaving his home, James felt a burgeoning hope, ignited by Emily's resolute commitment to aid him. Taking temporary refuge with Olivia, who welcomed him with open arms, James found solidarity and support in the warmth of friendship. However, the turning tide came with Emily's surprising discovery just days later. She unveiled that Xavier, in anticipation of his children's avarice, had safeguarded his assets by transferring them to Juliet Travis, a name unfamiliar to James. The mystery of Julius Travis's identity unraveled upon meeting her, revealing her as the enigmatic mourner at Xavier's funeral. She disclosed her close friendship with Xavier and her role as the custodian of his final wishes, a revelation that offered James a glint of redemption. United by a common cause, James, Olivia, Emily, and Mrs. Travis converged upon the disputed household, confronting the contentious heirs. Upon their arrival, they were met with the sight of Valentine's children embroiled in their endeavors to liquidate his legacy. Asserting the rightful ownership backed by legal documents, Emily stood firm against the vehement protestations of Josephine, Ezekiel, and Jasper. Although they threatened litigation with confidence in their bloodline's claim, Emily's composed stance, bolstered by the legality of the house's transfer to Juliet Travis, underscored the strength of their position. This pivotal confrontation set the stage for a legal and moral battle over Xavier Gray's legacy, with the law as their shield. The legal process confirmed the house's rightful transfer to Mrs. Travis, cementing her decision against its sale. This declaration, bolstered by Juliet Travis's silent agreement alongside Emily, instilled a sensation of justice fulfilled for James and Olivia as they witnessed the culmination of their struggle. Confronted with the irrefutable court order, Josephine, Ezekiel, and Jasper had no choice but to vacate the premises. Their subsequent legal challenge faltered, affirming Mrs. Travis's ownership and thwarting their mercenary aspirations. This triumph of justice ensured the preservation of Valentin's legacy in accordance with his wishes. This chapter of adversity drew James and Olivia closer, nurturing a bond that matured into a decision to unite their lives in matrimony. Emily, pivotal in securing James's victory, was honored as the maid of honor, while Juliet Travis, the keeper of Xavier's legacy, joined in the celebration of their union. Their wedding was a poignant testament to their shared journey through hardship, embodying themes of solidarity, compassion, and resilience. Their tale, emblematic of love and gratitude binding them, marked a new beginning, enriched by the values that had steered them through life's trials. This moving narrative closes our presentation today. Should this story of endurance and love resonate with you, please show your support by liking this video, subscribing to our channel, and activating notifications to stay updated on our upcoming contents, which we believe will captivate you just as much. We're grateful for your viewership and eagerly anticipate joining you in our next video. Farewell for now. The property was rightfully attributed to Mrs. Travis, and her stance against selling it was unwavering. Juliet Travis, who stood by Emily, reinforced this decree with a supportive nod. James and Olivia witnessed this confirmation with a sense of relief and a conviction that fairness had triumphed. The siblings, Josephine, Ezekiel, and Jasper, found themselves cornered by the law and had to exit the abode. Despite their attempt to contest the verdict, the courts verified Mrs. Travis's lawful ownership, dashing the siblings' avaricious schemes. In this way, Valentin's last will was upheld, a true testimony to his intent and legacy. This ordeal catalyzed a pivotal change in the lives of James and Olivia, drawing them closer and blossoming into a decision to unite in matrimony. Emily, pivotal in their journey for justice, was honored with the role of maid of honor, whereas Juliet Travis, the keeper of the estate, partook in their happiness, witnessing the vows. Symbolized by a union forged through shared trials, the ceremony was a celebration of solidarity, compassion, and the steadfastness of the human spirit. Together, James, Olivia, Emily, and Juliet Travis stepped into the future, embracing the values that forged an indelible bond and irrevocably transformed their paths. With the closing of this heartwarming chapter, we wrap up today's video. Should this story resonate with you, please consider showing your support by liking, subscribing, and hitting the notification bell to ensure you don't miss our forthcoming content, which is sure to captivate. We are immensely grateful for your viewership and look forward to sharing more stories with you. Until next time, thank you for watching. Thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more captivating stories. We appreciate your support and can't wait to share more with you.